Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Welcome back to Living Local Carolina. Today I'm joined by Dr. Anthony Thompson. How are you doing?
Doing quite well, Katie. And yourself?
I'm doing wonderful.
First of all, we got the name came from Ephesians, 2nd chapter. Ephesians talks about him dying to bring the two together as one new humanity. And we had an event. Our first event was November the 20th of 2022. The first night we had a revival. And the reason behind the revival is a good story behind that. It was a church on Aston Street. Right now it's St. John Reformed Episcopal Church. But in the 1800s, it was a Presbyterian church. But it was an integrated Presbyterian church. They had like 12 whites, 12 blacks, and about 48 whites. Anyway, he caught a lot of flack behind it. The pastor's name was Gerardo. And he wanted to do something similar to what we're talking about right now. He wanted to unite the city of Charleston. Yeah, so he had a revival, and a three-day revival. And on that third night, it describes him preaching like a shock of electricity with the Holy Spirit, of course. And when that Spirit hit him, it changed everything. Because the very next day, you hear what I'm saying? The very next day, every church in Charleston increased their membership. Every church increased their membership. Yeah, it's a written fact.
That is crazy.
It's a written fact, yeah. And then what happened was, it was like the Spirit hit and just kept on going. As far as on the East Coast, from Charleston all the way to New York, over 1 million people got saved from that revival. And so the next day we went to 7 different landmarks in the city of Charleston. One of the landmarks was the Battery.
White Point Gardens?
White Point Garden. Because that's the place where a lot of brothers fought brothers. Well, like 600,000 soldiers died right there in that spot. So that was a spot of hostility, you know. So we went there to pray, and it was over having slaves. You know what I mean? So we prayed there that God would, change their hearts. He can't change what happened,
Of course.
but he can change the hearts of the people today, so that they will no longer perpetuate the hostility that took place there. Instead of hostility, let's talk about some peace. Then we went from there to Four Corners of Law, the same thing. You're talking about Four Corners of Law where all these beautiful buildings were basically built, you understand, on the backs of slaves.
Yeah.
Free labor, which was an injustice. Then we went to the Exchange Building where, pretty much where the slaves came in at, praying about what happened there. Then we marched to the United States Customs House, of course, where the money came in from the transatlantic slave trade, and the Caribbean barons, who profited off of slavery. And then, of course, we went back to St. John's. Then we marched to Emmanuel, and you know what happened there. Then we marched to Marion Square. That's where we ended the march. Marion Square was the pinnacle point where everybody had the opportunity to express acts of penance, for the next event. Yeah, and so pretty much that's what it consisted of.
Powerful day.
Yeah, powerful day. We had people to join in, with us along the way.
Maybe didn't know that the event was happening.
Have no idea.
There you go.
Then I had some friends of mine who actually like watching it on TV, and they came running out there. I mean, like joining in, yeah.
I mean, that.
Who I hadn't seen in years, and taking the flags and things out of my hands. I'm trying to figure who are these people. And then I realized people I knew from previous years.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I am at ESA Fitness Club with Terrence. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I have
Good.
some questions for you.
All right, I'm ready to answer.
First question, what does ESA stand for?
ESA stands for Enhanced Speed and Agility.
Okay.
Yeah, so most people come to me to get faster, to get more agile, to have more mobility, and more explosiveness. So
Love
yeah.
that. Well, give me a little bit about your background. How did you get into this?
I got into it after I was training for the NFL, and I had a trainer in college. And then I went up to Maryland after I played in the All-Star game my senior year, and I trained with Vernon Davis trainer, and it kind of opened my eyes to a lot more different style of training than what I was getting in college.
Interesting.
And then I was in the CFL in rookie camp with the Montreal Alouettes, and got cut from there, came back home, and started coaching and started training some kids. I put a speed and agility clinic on, got it sponsored, had about 40 kids come out. It was amazing.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I like it a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I just opened a facility with about 4 or 5 clients, $1,000 in a 1,000 square foot facility. And
And
that was
here we
12
are.
years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm here.
Now we're here, and what is this location? It's pretty prime, man, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's so this is downtown redevelopment zone, okay? Right, smack dead in the middle of downtown Myrtle Beach is
Yeah.
515 9th Avenue North, and I've been in this building for about a year.
Okay.
So I decided to come down here, one, to be a part of the community, be a part of the redevelopment and all the stuff that's going on downtown. So I just, took a risk, and so far it's been pretty good. We got a lot of neighbors coming down on this street,
Yeah.
and I like the plans that's what's happening down here. So I just wanted to be a part of some growth and be on the beginning of the stages, and that also actually ask what we think and what we want to do, and so it's pretty cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the typical client that you see on a daily basis? I know that you have all these different sports painted up on the wall,
Yeah.
which he did himself, by the way. Love that.
Yeah. A typical client is a high school and a middle school athlete. I do some 4th and 5th graders. I kind of start around 10 years old. That's kind of like my stopping point.
Yeah.
I've had some 9-year-olds that were pretty mentally there, that can stay locked in the whole session. And then when the seasons kind of change, I get my college guys and girls coming back
Yeah.
in, and then I get some of my professional athletes, they'll drop in. I can't just rely on college and pro athletes, because their
Yeah.
seasons are longer in at school. But most of my clientele are high school and middle school athletes, so we're trying to build them up. But the key is catch them in middle school. So by the time they get to high school, by the time they're juniors and seniors, they're 10 times better, and to give them a better chance to either go to college or make their varsity squad.
Yeah.
So that's the typical. And I also do adult personal training as well. So in the
Okay.
morning times, that's what I spend my time with doing.
I think a lot of people wonder where these great athletes come from, and I think a lot of times this is the thing that really makes the biggest difference for
Yeah.
kids. Well, thanks once again for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I'm Katie Turner, and I'm wearing pink for a reason today. I'm joined in studio by Michelle Apple. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you.
Okay, so you are the founder of the ABC Warrior Foundation. What does that stand for?
The Apple Breast Cancer Warrior Foundation.
All right, so tell me your story.
So I'm actually, this week is kind of ironic, I'm a 5-year breast cancer survivor. So I made it to 5 years, which is a huge milestone for many breast cancer patients. So when I got my diagnosis, I always knew I wanted to do more. I didn't want to be defined by breast cancer, but I've seen so many financially having a hard time with the financial bills in addition to advocating and educating. So during my journey, I decided to start a foundation, a 501c, to help other breast cancer patients as they're going through this long journey, because it's emotional, it's financial. And so I decided to start the foundation under those things so that we could help them.
It's got to be surreal going from being the patient to being able to really pay it forward to people.
Absolutely, and I wanted to advocate because in the beginning my diagnosis was missed, so I had a very small lump under my armpit, and I think it's good for the viewers to know that I just got a standard mammogram, and unfortunately they missed it, and I should have had an ultrasound.
Wow.
And that's the other reason to advocate for the foundation, right? I want to educate and tell folks. Not that you have a crystal ball that it could stop it, but maybe we could have caught it earlier. We know with breast cancer, early detection and treatments are huge.
Huge.
So with that, after my mom got diagnosed with bile duct cancer, I then took care of myself. She passed away. We were taking care of her, and I got shingles, and it grew actually on my breast. And I thought, well, you know, I should get this checked out. So after she passed, I did, and that's when I found out I was stage 3. It has metastatized into 23 lymph nodes, full mastectomy, 6 months chemo, 3 months radiation, and then just recently I had my ovaries removed, and then continued medication. So many cancer patients don't get to ring the bell. So many of those I want to advocate and help and do the comfort bags that we're going to talk about at the next summit to kind of bring a smile to their face.
Now, for people that want to stay updated with you and help out throughout the year, I mean, you have so many things planned on the calendar. How can they stay in touch with you?
Absolutely. So we have a website. It's www.applebcwarrior.com, or they can certainly email me at michelleapple71@iCloud as well.
Well, today we are getting messy. I am at Studio 4319. I'm with Michelle. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing a lot better now that I'm here, if I'm being honest.
Great. Well, you know.
We have had so much fun this afternoon. We have been creating and getting messy, and this is what you do every day.
Every day, all day.
All the time.
It is my favorite thing ever.
Tell me about your job and what you do.
Well, we have, it's an art studio, art playground. We have classes from 18 months all the way up to adult classes, 18 months to 101. We teach Mommy and Me classes. All of our classes are process-based art, so that means that we're not focused on the end result. We're about the process. So even with the kids, they get really stuck on that. It has to be perfect. But when you take that pressure off and say we're just focusing on the process, it takes away that perfectionist feeling, and that, you know, it's okay if it doesn't look amazing at the end because everything that happened in the process was so much better.
That's the art.
Yes. Frame Your Beach. So this is a resin, and we used a variety of supplies. We have shells, this is some kind of jewelry string, and then epoxy resin is something that you would normally see that people are doing in molds. They go on the tumbler cups now. These things are epoxy resin. So now that will be permanently frozen in that position on your frame from the resin, because tomorrow it'll be hard as a rock.
And the mermaid cannot swim.
And the mermaid will be right there forever. And then you also made this beautiful coaster with some glitter and your name, and Miguel made this beautiful bowl that he's going to get to put up. And here's some other things that are the more traditional uses for resin in the arting and crafting world, but this is just kind of a next level, really more what I love, because it's combining the art with the resin.
This was therapeutic for me,
Very much,
if I'm being
absolutely.
honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like you probably come across that quite a bit with people
Absolutely.
who come take classes here.
Oh yeah, it is very therapeutic.
Where can people find out more information about your classes?
My website is studio4319.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram, and my number is 843-400-3045. We have it all. It's really amazing.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
The following portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by R&R Tire Express. Welcome back to Living Local Carolina, everyone. Today I'm back at R&R Tire Express with my friend Reggie. How have you been?
I've been doing great. I hope that you have.
I'm excited to learn what's new with you guys.
Well, we got a few new things. We still do our easy payment program where customers can make their weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly payments to obtain ownership of their merchandise. We're doing brakes now. We're doing front-end repairs. We're doing alignments. We're doing lift kits. There is a no credit check program, so they can just come into the store. Everyone is pre-approved. All we ask for is your ID and your current vehicle registration to get you going on the program. To get you a new set of tires is just a $20 initial payment. That gets new tires installed and gets you going. If you're looking at, to spruce up your car a little bit with wheels and tires, you can do that for a $50 initial payment, and we'll get you installed on a new set of wheels and tires.
That's really good that you guys make it accessible to people, but who really qualifies for these payment plans?
Well, everyone qualifies for the program. There's no stipulations to it. If you have a vehicle, it needs tires, it needs wheels, you live in the area, you qualify for the program.
Okay, so how does it work if somebody were to walk in here and they say, I need some tires or I need something else?
Well, we have tires in stock. We have wheels in stock. If we don't have it here right now, we do have warehouses close by that we can get the merchandise from. But it's simple. Again, you provide your ID, your registration. We have you fill out an order form. Of course, still no credit checks here. And we get you going on the program.
How does the brake system work?
Well, our brakes start out at $3.99 per axle. Of course, depending on the vehicle, that may be some variations in the price. But, that too is something that can be done the same day within an hour.
So when you hear the name R&R Tire Express, most people might think that you guys only have tires, but you also offer servicing here, which is really convenient.
Of course. With your purchase, you have free rotate and balance, free flat repair for the life of the tires. When you're installed here, most vehicles, we align the vehicle with the four-wheel alignment when the product is installed. We do have certified lift technicians, brake technicians. We are also Carfax certified. We have a 5-star review in Carfax. You also have road hazard replacement. So, South Carolina roads are rough sometimes. You hit a pothole, have a blowout, crack a wheel or something like that. While on the program, the road hazard replacement covers that damaged merchandise. You also have roadside assistance. So if you're ever locked out of your car, battery goes dead, you need to be towed to the nearest repair shop. It covers you on all of that stuff. Our servicing also doesn't just stop in this location. We have about 210 R&R locations nationwide. So if you're an R&R customer here in the Myrtle Beach location, you're an R&R customer anywhere. So if you're out traveling with your family and you have an emergency, you'll always be taken care of.
This is music to my ears, honestly, because nobody likes to be on the side of the road, stranded. It's nice to know that you guys are there to help.
Yes, ma'am, 100%. Our goals and plans for 2026 is to be what we've always wanted to be, which is the best wheel and tire concept in America. So when you come in to become an R&R customer, you have the options of, spreading the word about, the services and the merchandise that you purchase from us. Each customer that you send into the store, we pay referrals on. And once you've sent us a certain amount of customers, you get a big chunk of in-store credit that you can use either towards what you're already paying on or something else that you would like to get.
Very cool. Okay, if somebody's watching right now, they want to come find you guys, where can they do that?
We're at the corner of Joe White and Seaboard Street in Myrtle Beach, 1925 Mr. Joe White Avenue, or you can visit us at rnrtires.com.
This portion of Living Local Carolina was sponsored by R&R Tire Express.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.